Mrs. Oscars, would you send young Jim in with the Williams tapes, please?
Yes, Mr. Turner.
Mrs. Oscars, would you thank young Jim for me, please? Oh, and tell him to bring it in the cassette next time. It makes it somewhat easier. Oh, and Jim, close the door on your way out, will you? It's quite drafty in here. Tell him to close his door on the way out, will you, Mrs. Oscars? It's quite drafty in here. Could you step into my office a moment, Mrs. Oscars? Take a seat, Mrs. Oscars.
Yes, Dr. Turner.
Mrs. Oscars, how many times do I have to tell you I'm not a doctor, I'm a florist?
Well, you keep telling me that. But if you're a florist, why have you got a nurse working for you?
You're not a nurse, Mrs. Oscars. You're a receptionist. Not even a Mrs. You're a Mister. You're a male receptionist.
Oh, I thought you hadn't noticed.
Why did you want to impersonate a woman in the first place?
Well, it was the only way I could get to be a nurse, really.
But you're not a nurse!
Well, if I'm not a nurse, why did I give that man his pills this morning?
They weren't pills. They were slug pellets.
Slug pellets? You mean I gave him slug pellets? But they'll kill him.
He's not going to take them. He's going to sprinkle them on his garden.
Well, how's that going to cure his boil?
He hasn't got a boil, Mr. Oscars.
Well, he said he was having trouble with his boil.
His soil. He said he was having trouble with his soil. It's too acidic. The slugs are destroying everything in his garden. That's what he wants their pellets for.
Oh, I see. Now I understand. You're a florist.
Splendid. I'm so glad we have sorted that out. Now, the reason I sent you in here is because I think we've got a leak in the roof.
What roof?
What roof? That roof! Someone's nicked the roof.
We never had a roof.
Never had a roof? What was that on top of the walls then?
What walls?
What walls? Those walls. Someone's nicked the walls!
We never had any roof or walls.
Well, if we haven't got a roof and we haven't got walls, then what surrounds the door?
What door?
What door? What door? I will show you what bloody door! That door! Someone's nicked the door!
We never had a roof. We never had any walls, we never had a door.
Well, if we never had a roof, and we never had walls...
We never had any walls, we never had a door, we never had windows, we never had any curtains. You've never had a phone, you've never had a computer, you've never had a filing cabinet, you've never had a desk.
Never had a desk! Never had a... If I never had a desk, then what's that?
All right, so you've got a desk then?
Yes, I do. I have got a desk, so you agree it's an office then, do you?
No, I don't. It's a forest.
Forest? It's a florist, you fool! Florist!
Nah, it's a forest. Look, trees, grass, birds.
Well, if it's a forest, where's the waiting room?
It's over there.
Oh yeah, so it is. Could you send the next customer in, please?
Yes, Mr. Turner.
The doctor will see you now.
Ah! I'm not a fucking doctor!
I think he needs to see a psychiatrist.
So, I'm wearing red panties. Oh, what are you wearing? Oh, please tell me. I've got high heels on too. Don't you people knock anymore!
Oh, sorry. I'll come back.
Come in. Sit down, please. You must be Mr. Turner.
Yes?
Why don't you move the plant, Mr. Turner?
Oh yes.
Mr. Turner, why did you feel it necessary to move the plant as you did?
Well, I couldn't see.
You couldn't see me?
No, there was a big plant in the way.
A big plant. Mr. Turner, why do you refer to it as a big plant when it's quite clearly only a small one?
Well, granted, it's not huge. It's not an enormous plant, but it's quite big. I mean, all right, it's not a tree, but it's bigger than, say...
Can I just stop you there for one moment, please, Mr. Turner, and bring to your attention something I've noticed about the way you speak. Why is it that you feel the urge to emphasize certain words, like tree and big and enormous and sexual enhancement devices?
I never said sexual enhancement devices.
Sexual enhancement devices? What makes you say that?
Well, I didn't say it. You were the one who brought it up.
Brought what up, Mr. Turner?
Well, sexual enhancement devices, of course.
What makes you say sexual enhancement devices?
I never said sexual enhancement devices.
I feel that you're in denial, Mr. Turner, as to your true needs for these devices.
Look, Dr. Phillips.
Excuse me, Mr. Turner. What did you just call me?
I called you Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips.
Not you as well. Why does everybody seem to think I'm a doctor?
You mean to say you're not a doctor?
I certainly am not. I'm a florist.
A florist? What an extraordinary coincidence! I'm a florist!
Are you really? Well, I know. Perhaps you can help me.
In what way would you like me to help you?
Well, you see, I've got this funny twinge in my back. It's been niggling me all day, and I just wondered if perhaps you could take a look.